Here we are going to discuss about Raja Yoga and how it's beneficial, and also we're going to talk about how we get feelings of lust, we get feelings of we see others and we feel lustful. We feel because of lust we have attachment to people, and then our habits, our lifestyle is changed. So me and brother would like to discuss about how lust is indirectly affecting our life and also is affecting our relationships in this world. So, welcome. Thanks for the invite,
Thanks for
Saravana
accepting the
Bhai.
invite. Thanks for accepting the invite, sister. Uh, Actually, suddenly a new topic comes into my mind because it's very famous globally that people think if you control lust and be celibate, you will be able to attract opposite sex. You must have heard of it, right?
Yes,
In
yes,
America,
yes.
it's very famous.
Yeah.
People try to be celibate so that they will get girlfriend or boyfriend, then they can have lust with them.
Mm-hmm.
So of course it works, it definitely works, but they do not know why it works, and it stops the very minute you engage in lust.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to be attractive throughout your life, be celibate always. But if your main aim itself is just to attract the opposite sex, I don't know how it works. I don't think it will work that much compared to being celibate for the true purpose of being celibate, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Celibacy வந்து it's mainly to
English,
conserve.
English. Yeah,
Oh, celibacy is
yeah.
actually we going
uh,
back and forth. Celibacy is
yeah.
actually to help to conserve the energy
That's
of
the
the
truth.
bird leakage of thoughts,
Mm,
waste thoughts. So once we
yes.
start to not be celibate, then there is
Mm,
leakage of energy, and also our
yeah.
waste thoughts increases in our mind. Because of waste
Yes.
thoughts, there's other stuff that aligns with it: anxiety, depression.
That's true.
Lot of teenagers these days are into depression because they are doing watching too much of pornography on TV
Yeah.
and channels. They're addicted to lustful scenes. They are having
Yeah.
waste constant thoughts about that, and they can't come out of that cycle. Because of
Yeah.
that itself, lots of teenagers are admitted for
Mm,
anxiety and depression these days. So
yes.
lust is something that we need to recognize. We should not suppress it. Suppress means not saying go have lustful
Mm,
relationship, but at the same time we should acknowledge it and understand in a healthy way
yes.
what is lust and how, what is it
Mm,
doing to my body and my relationship.
mm,
So lust saving, being celibate is good because it helps you in concentration, focus on your life goals. It will
everything.
help you, it will help you master. If you're a student, you will get good grades. But
Yes.
brahmachari is the best if you want to achieve your goals. Otherwise you are
Mm,
constantly having waste thoughts, distracted,
yeah.
scattered mind. Your mind is not focused on your goal.
Yes.
So
You
without
are very right.
brahmacharya, it's not
Yeah.
important. Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
possible. So,
Yes.
but because of brahmacharya, you're able to get girls. Means sometimes they tell brahmachari guys and girls are very attractive, but I think it's
Mm,
because of the divinity, because of the
yes.
divinity of the power they carry of brahmacharya.
Yeah.
Because of brahmachari, they
Yes.
have this divine power in them.
That's true.
Sometimes
That's
you
true.
see
Yeah.
souls and you be like,
Mm,
oh, you look so divine, you're so
yeah.
attractive, divinely
Yeah.
attractive,
Yes.
not
Yes.
not like heroine type. Like,
Mm,
that's because that person has been practicing celibacy for so many years. So
yeah.
because of that you will attract opposite sex, but
Mm,
that should not be the reason for celibacy. The person who's practicing celibacy,
mm,
the intention should be right. Intention should be
mm.
for, you're doing it because for yourself.
And you should understand the real benefit of celibacy. Then you will not be attracted towards these temporary pleasures.
Right, right.
That's
The
true.
whole celibacy is to have your mind focused so you can focus towards your goals. It's not if your goal is to attract another female or girlfriend, then what's the
mm,
point? What's the use? Your goal should be towards spiritual
mm,
purposes, because brahmachari is the
mm,
foundation of any spiritual practice, whether it could be
mm,
Raja Yoga or Kriya Yoga or any type of yoga, Bhakti Yoga. Brahmachari is
mm.
the foundation. So if
Yes.
you don't practice brahmachari, then there is
Mm,
no spirituality. There's no foundation. It's like building a house without a strong foundation. So
mm,
that should be a purpose, brahmachari, and then spiritual purpose. With my
mm,
energy that I've conserved and the experience I'm having, what can I learn and how can I teach people? How can I get into that transcendental bliss that everyone talks about? You know, the stage,
mm. Yes.
that blissful stage, remaining in that
Blissfulness.
blissful
Yeah.
stage. So
But
that should
they,
be a
yeah, by practicing other yogas other than Raj Yoga, they think they give the wrong meaning for blissfulness. They think they will experience it throughout their body. They just think what they experience by uh, having physical relationship, they will be experienced that throughout their body. That's what they think it is
yeah,
blissfulness out of celibacy. But
right,
that's not how it actually feels. Maybe it happens in the beginning stage
right,
when you suddenly start becoming celibate. Obviously it will happen just to distract you,
right.
because
Experience.
once you focus on it you will fall back to that.
Yes, yeah,
It's just a distraction. Likewise, even the girls or guys attracted to you are another distraction to break your celibacy.
that's
So
true. Yes,
that's how it
yes,
works.
yes.
Because this age is Kali Yuga. This
Mhm.
is not Satyug, golden age, where nobody knows anything about lust. When everybody is filled with lustful thoughts, and if you want to escape that,
Mm.
obviously this yug will not leave you.
Yeah,
So
because
it
everywhere
fights
you
with you.
turn, right?
Yes.
Because everywhere you turn, brother,
Mm.
you see pictures of really bad stuff.
Mm.
You go social
Yeah.
media, it is there.
Yes.
You go to TV advertisement, it is there, and then you see
Yes.
people. You go to mall, also you see women's dressed. You see
Yeah.
all kind of attractive pictures. So Baba
Things.
calls
Yeah.
this as Maya, Maya, right?
Yeah.
God says that it's a Maya. It
Yeah.
appears. Are you going
Mm.
to are you going to be catching it
Mm.
and be
Mm.
strong in control of your mind, or are you going to
Yeah.
give to your impulses?
That's
Lot
right.
of time, if we are not
Mm.
a strong yogi, we would give into the impulses. Brother, if
Impulsive.
you are
Yes.
talking about it, even the strongest yogi, if you have read Bhakti, they also had this problem at some point.
Like Vishwamitra.
Vishwamitra. So
Yes.
for them itself, it's like that hard to control. Then we
Yeah.
need to we need to be very diligent, vigilant. Vigilant
Yes.
as in very careful. That's why God brings about those commandments, those
Mm.
Srimat we tell, na? Srimat,
Yeah.
Maryadas,
Similar.
to just
Mm.
protect us, to remind us that, hey, children, this is all Maya. See everybody as your family, and
Mm.
respect everyone.
Yes.
Basically he's telling that
Absolutely.
because to avoid such thoughts.
Yes, that's the thing. And it's nice you bring this up that it is it leads to depression finally.
It
Lustful
leads to
thoughts leads
depression.
to depression. So you have correlated in a correct way, but the
Mm,
world doesn't interpret that way. It interprets in an opposite way. For
mhm,
example, one of my friends, actually the Tamil version of video, that brother
mm,
said
mhm,
he was suddenly feeling depressed,
mm,
and he went to a psychiatrist. And
mm,
psychiatrist asked, "Are you masturbating at least 3 times a day?" He was
mm,
shocked. What? No, I don't do this.
mm,
Yes, that's why you are depressed. He is
mm,
saying, "No, I never masturbated." Then he said, "If you don't masturbate, you will not see the consequences instantly. It will take
mm,
time. Why can't you
mm,
just try it for 3 days and then come back?" So this
mm,
is from the professional
mm,
psychiatrist. So
mm,
they are so brainwashed by these studies that they think it is because of lack of sex uh, they are into depressed state. But
mm.
the actual thing is everybody is depressed now in Kali Yuga because soul has no power. So what we are doing is to activate it. We are getting addicted to something so that we don't feel the reality of us. That is the
Yeah.
depression stage.
Yeah.
So that's the main reason people, when they start doing Raja Yoga, when they
Mm-hmm.
refrain from sexual life,
Mm-hmm.
they sometimes complain about this boredom, depressed
Mm-hmm.
state. That is
Mm-hmm.
because that's the true state. From
Yeah.
there, you have to go to blissful state. But
Yeah.
instead, they think it is because they live their lustful life, they live their friends, they live roaming around. They think it
Mm.
is because of that they are feeling depressed.
You're
So
right.
that's the power of Satan, Maya. So
That's the
it's
power.
very intelligent. It is very intelligent. But what really happens is,
Mm.
um, actually, God says lust is the biggest enemy,
Yeah.
Mahashatru, right?
Mm.
Because you don't have to do anything. It just comes
Mm-hmm.
automatically. It kidnaps you automatically, like it kidnaps Sita. So once you get exposed to something lustful, you will be very surprised if you think about the initial stage when you are exposed to that, that
Mm-hmm.
your mind start flickers on its own. It might happen when you are moving closely with the opposite sex. Maybe they are even very young or very age elder than us, but still we
Mm-hmm.
will suddenly feel this flickering of mind at our very
Mm-hmm.
young age.
Mm-hmm.
So then, if you further get yourself exposed to pornographic material as someone who speaks about it all the time, then your mind will constantly think about it, and that is the reason you want to see it again.
But
The
why the
problem is,
mind is addicted to pornography and everything is because body is addicted. The sensations, the pleasure of
yeah,
watching, the
that
pleasure of
yes,
seeing.
yeah,
So the
because
body
it
is
involves five senses.
right,
That's the
right.
thing. It gratifies five senses at the same time.
You're right,
That's why they
right.
get addicted.
Oh, that's why Baba also tells it's the first one. Because
First one,
anger comes, then you would. Anger is an energy that comes out, but with lust, the whole body is getting gratified. You're totally right.
yeah, and also nobody can identify that you are lustful at that time, but anybody can say that you are angry at this time. So this is something that goes on
Ah, very
secretively.
subtle. Very
Yeah,
subtle.
yeah.
Ah, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
that's the thing. So it troubles all the time. That's the fun of it. So if someone is addicted to masturbation or pornography at particular point of time, the next day, even though he is surrounded by friends, he will suddenly feel that craving in his body, although he doesn't think about it.
Mm,
So at a subtle level, the mind is doing the magic.
yeah,
We
yeah.
need to understand that. But of course,
Brother, but
body also plays
the
part.
addiction to sex and masturbation is the same trigger of dopamine that you get in the neuro. If you
Yeah,
go biology wise in the
that's what
body,
scientists say. That's what scientists say. But
because of
in
that
addition,
only, if
mm,
you go to in US, there is rehab centers. You know, we have rehab centers here.
yeah,
We just like how they have rehab centers for alcohol, which
drug
means
addict.
they'll put the patient for 10 days or 15 days, and they will just keep in a little room so they stay
Oh,
away from alcohol.
quarantine them.
Similarly, they have
Mm.
rehab for sex addiction people who are
Oh,
constantly looking for some kind of pleasure or sex. So
mm,
they go for rehabs. We know a lot of
mm,
celebrities who are also sex addicts who have gone and taken rehab. So, like you told, every it's not discussed,
yeah,
but there are people who are addicted to the point where they have to visit a hospital.
yeah. But they think they have some problem with it only when they have multiple partners frequently. What
Yeah.
is that called? Cheating. When they cheat on their
It-
partners
Yeah.
continuously, they think there is something wrong with them,
Mm,
which is true. But here in India, nobody thinks of it as a problem. They think it's normal. They even pass the law supporting it. If a guy
mm,
is interested in, I think it's already there in America, right? If
mm,
they have consent, then there is no problem.
mm,
So whether it's cheating, whether it's addiction to pornography or masturbation, It all happens. Okay, what happens during this time is it. It is one sister said that she feels as if some energy has crept into her body and took full control of her
Mm,
whenever she feels lustful. That's the reality. And Christians
mm,
call it as the dark energy, which is also true, right?
mm,
Dark energy means
mm,
lack of energy, which
mm,
is true. When soul has no energy, you
mm.
will obviously start creating weak thoughts.
Yeah.
Obviously, all Kaliyugi souls have no energy. So
Mm,
obviously, at certain point, they will developing these thoughts. But
mm,
the fun part is when they start getting addicted to this,
mm,
even more their power gets drained, which means they will still fall into it. They will seek for it
mm.
more and more and more and more.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
at one point, they will even become mentally unstable.
Yes.
So at one point, they they don't worry about how old they are, whether it's
Mm,
child, whether it's grandma or grandpa. They don't bother. They just
mm,
need somebody,
mm.
and even worse, they won't even bother if it is of same sex.
Not even of same sex, brother.
Hmm.
Animals
Hmm.
are good. They're not leaving even animals.
Yeah,
It's gotten
animals,
so bad. If you
animals,
go to like
child.
in
Yes,
northern part of India, there are cases where the police have said that
yeah.
these men from the villages have,
Hmm.
raped
Hmm.
animals and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
even in
so
Tamil Nadu, there's news like this. So it
yeah.
happens. Uh, so what happens is, so that's the physical outcome. But
Mm,
at a subtle level, this kind of addiction, especially regarding lust, you will constantly think about it. The more you think about it, the more weaker your mind gets.
mm,
So it might be pleasurable initially.
mm,
So you may want it more and more. Okay, but the real problem arises when there is problem in your life. Maybe
mm,
the sudden death or cheating of some
mm,
way.
mm,
At that time, your mind will start thinking about it again and again because
mm.
you have habituated your mind to think about the same thing again and again while you were lustful. So
Right,
that
right.
is why it is doing the
Mm,
same when
mm,
you are confronting some depression in your life. So
mm.
it goes on and
Because it
on that you
becomes
can't
like
come out
a
of it.
escape mechanism.
Yeah.
When someone is stressed, they go
Hmm.
out for a pack of cigarettes. They say, Macha, I'm very tensed, I'm very
Hmm.
stressed,
Yeah.
I need to go do a pack of
Yeah.
cigarettes. So like
Yeah.
that, this also has become like a escape mechanism of
Hmm.
why this feeling is coming. They don't know why I'm depressed. They don't want to figure it out, but I want to
Hmm.
get out of this uncomfortable feeling. So let
Hmm.
me go back to my pleasurable feeling. What gives me pleasure? Shopping gives me pleasure. What gives me
Hmm.
pleasure? Eating biryani gives me pleasure. What gives me
Hmm.
pleasure?
Yeah.
Masturbation gives me pleasure.
Yeah.
So like that, we are going to outside external objects to
Hmm.
generate that bliss.
Yeah.
God
Once.
is telling, leave all
Hmm.
that. For
Yes.
years and years, we've been doing the same thing and we have lost the power. So,
Yes.
God is telling, leave all that and come understand who you are and stay connected with me. And you'll be all the time blissful. You wouldn't need any of these outside objects to keep you happy.
That's
So,
true.
that time addiction will can break. So, a lot of people after coming to God,
Hmm.
their addiction habits have gone down because now they are
Hmm.
feeling that happiness from the source, from the
Yeah.
right source.
Yeah. God says you yourself is the source of happiness.
You're the source of
You
happiness.
are the
Yeah.
source of happiness. But since you forget yourself, you are
Yeah.
seeking it outside. But
Outside external.
that's
Yes.
not happiness. That's enchantment or intoxication.
Right. Right.
That's the thing.
Right.
So
Right.
there's a difference between happiness and that one. That
Right.
one we
Yeah.
depend on something external to us, but happiness
Yes.
comes from within.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
for that you need to realize who you are. You have forgotten
Yes.
yourself. Then how can you derive the true nature of yourself? So God says you are not this perishable body. Because you are considering yourself to be this perishable body, you want to derive pleasure through senses.
Yeah.
But those sensual pleasures are short lived. If you want to
Mm,
taste something like ice cream or
mhm,
whatever you want, you
mhm,
can't enjoy it after 1 or 2 minutes. It will get resistant to that. It will
mm,
no longer generate that happiness. But your mind will say, it is ice cream, it is nice, you eat it, eat it, eat
mhm,
it. But within 1 or 2 minutes, it will stop. Taste bud will stop working.
mm,
That's it. So
mhm.
it applies to everything, including sex. And that is the
Yes.
reason people get bored with married life within 1 month of getting married, 1 or 2 months of
Right.
getting married.
Right.
So they
Right.
get bored. And so that's why they think there is something wrong with this girl, but
Mm,
no wrong with other girls. So let's try it out, try something else. So this is how your mind cheats. Even for those who are addicted to pornography, they're not going to see the same video again and again because they get bored. They want something different. So this is how your mind cheats. God says, um, even regarding food, God says, if you take the same kind of food daily, you will stay
mm,
healthy.
mm.
If you eat varieties of food, you will become diseased. This is something nobody even think of. That's
But
the
there's
funny
another
thing.
analogy, brother, which
Mm,
in the West we say
mm,
dogs. They eat
mm,
same food. They don't complain. They don't ask why you feeding me same food. Every time you feed the same
mm.
food, they are excited to eat. They just want
Yeah,
food
yeah,
because for them they have not tasted any other thing. They are okay with
mm,
what is given.
yes, mm,
Only for human beings we have found so many dishes, we have tasted so many dishes, we are craving. One day I have mom, you tell mom you want sambar rice, next day you mama makes sambar rice, you get angry at her.
mm.
For food there is problems and conflicts at home. By
They
do you
even
know?
murder. They even murder.
Murder
One
food.
70-year-old guy murdered his wife because she did not cook non-vegetarian food for him. They're so addicted to non-vegetarian food. People are so addicted, and God said uh, already that towards the end, you will have no food to complain that I need non-vegetarian food because you will not even have any food. You will
Yeah.
have no choice but to feed on grass, which is
Yeah.
right now happening in Palestine.
All right. Okay.
Maybe in other places also it might have happened, but it
Mhm.
now it is viral, so we are knowing it.
Mhm.
So, and another thing I would like to
Yeah.
notice,
Yeah.
uh, if you have already taken food in home before going out, even though you see delicious food in bakery or anywhere, you won't feel like eating it. But if you go hungry, you want to try
Ha.
it.
Ha. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Likewise, God says, if you fill your soul with energy, you wouldn't want to derive pleasure from external things because you are getting pleasure from within yourself. So the only way to feel it is we have to consider ourselves to be soul, but we don't have power. No, we don't have that much concentration power because we get easily distracted by everything, especially lust. So that's why
Mm.
God says, in addition to considering yourself to be the soul, also remember me as a point of light.
Mm.
So God Shiva, he is also called Allah and Godfather by other religions. God is only one. He dwells in the golden red colored light world called Parandam, our soul world. We souls, before taking birth, resided along with God. So
Mm.
when we first enter earth, this world was created as heaven, filled with everything we need to stay happy.
Mm.
But still, we were very happy, not because it was filled with everything that we need to be happy, but because we are
Mhm.
totally soul conscious, because we are getting happiness from within.
Mm.
So that is the reason we did not
Mhm.
develop any base thoughts. It is the lack of power of the soul that makes the soul to create waste thoughts.
Mm.
Then it goes to negative thoughts, then vicious thoughts, all the things. So when the soul is filled with power, it will not create any waste thought.
No.
It will not even create the second thought. If you have one thought like, I want to do this, you will not have another thought like, is it possible? Should I do that one instead? That's what
Mm.
we experience
Mm.
nowadays.
Mm.
But in
Mm.
heaven, they won't experience like that. If they have a
Mm.
thought, they'll just do it. See how
Mm.
peaceful it would be. That's how we were in the
That's how
beginning.
we were, without
We were
any
in the beginning.
mixture of waste thoughts.
Yeah,
We were
we
communicating through power of telepathy,
yeah, thought power. It was
thought
there.
power.
Even now we have, but to a small extent. Sometimes we think of our friends and they will
Yeah,
call us.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
it
yeah, yeah,
happens sometimes.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But there, mostly it would be like that. They will speak, but not that much.
Not much, much. Yeah.
Yeah. And another thing is, they will be very beautiful. Here,
Mm.
the beauty queen, Miss World, they are nothing in front of even the servants of heaven. Then think
Mm.
about the emperor and the empresses, how beautiful they would be. Even
Mm-hmm.
though they were so beautiful, no one would even be slightly disturbed by their beauty.
Mm.
So, because
Because
they
they were not body
filled
conscious,
with
right?
power, yeah, they were
Filled with
fully soul
power.
conscious. They know they are soul, looking through eyes, listening through ears, speaking through their mouth. They are using their body to fulfill
Mm.
what their soul wants. That's it.
Mm.
This is just an instrument. They give only that much importance to the body and nothing
Mm.
more. So
Mm.
even when interacting with others, they will
Mm.
see in between the forehead where the soul lies, and
Mm.
they know that it is the soul that listens, not the
Mm.
ear or eye or anything. So, since they were fully soul conscious and
Mm.
also they are filled with soul power, they are
Mm.
not distracted by no matter how beautiful the person is. Of
Mm.
course, they were very beautiful, but
Mm.
they were more powerful than that. So,
Mm.
that's why it was heaven for the first 2500 years.
Mm.
Because of the soul power, they did not have lustful thoughts, they did not get angry, they did not have attachment, ego, jealousy, nothing of that sort. They were all peaceful and blissful in their vision, in their words, even in their thoughts.
Mm.
So, of course, it would be very happy, right? Not only humans, it is the thoughts of human that controls the entire world, entire animal, everything.
Mm.
So
Mm.
that is the main reason lions and cows take water from the same pond at the same time. It is written in all religious scriptures. But
Mm.
it is due to the power of the thoughts of humans that makes everything like heaven for the first 2500 years. And they don't
Mm.
know what lust is. Then the question arises, then how will they give childbirth? It
Mm.
happens because of the power of thought. When they get
Mm.
married, when the
Mm.
husband and wife has the thought of having a child, the wife
Mm.
gets pregnant. So
Mm.
that's what is called as the childbirth through the power of yoga, not
Mm.
through lust. They don't even get slightly disturbed.
Mm.
So, so that's why they were the most intelligent people. That they created Pushpa Viman, which has the uh, lightning speed. They
Mm.
say if you want to make a phone call from India to America,
Mhm.
how long it will take? Very little time. Within
Mm.
that time, Pushpa Viman will go to America from India.
Mm.
So that's the truth. So think of how brilliant they would be.
Mm.
It is because they are soul conscious, they are brilliant. It is because
That-
we are now fully body conscious, we can't even use our mind for our day to day work.
Mm.
So that is the reason God says lust is the number one enemy that steals all your energy. So, in order to regain your energy, stay away from lust, stay away from anything that stimulates lust, and also stay away from everything and anything that you are surrounded with because it is Kali Yuga.
Mm.
So, whatever you see will definitely kindle either lust or anger or greed or attachment or ego within you.
Mm,
You already
mm,
have it, and
mm, mm.
that will stimulate it further.
Right.
Movies play a major part. That's
Yeah.
why Christians forbid seeing movies.
Mm.
So that is the main reason. Uh, but we planned of talking something else. We end up doing something else, which is very nice. And I think it's okay, right? It's enough
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
today. Okay. Thank you, sister. It's sharp
No
30 minutes.
problem. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Thank
Okay,
you. Okay.
thank you so much, sister. And one more thing, to get this full knowledge, go to the nearest Brahmakumaris Raj Yoga Meditation Center, where you get this education called Murli, absolutely free of cost. You can also find it in websites and YouTube in all languages. You can Google it yourself. So the main thing is you have to consider yourself to be soul, and you have to connect your mind to God as a point of light as much as possible, and stop looking at initially it's going to be tough. If you are addicted to sex or masturbation or pornography, initially it's going to be tough, because one thing, body craving will be there. But if you forcefully restrain from it for 3 days, then you will be surprised, you will no longer have body craving. Maybe you will have mental craving, and that is because you are in contact with something that stimulates you to think of those things. So you have to find out that and cut it out. Maybe it's your friend, or maybe the mobile you use for watching pornography all the time, or your computer. Then you have to make some changes that it doesn't appear. So you have to show mercy for yourself. Who else will? You have to. And you have to remember God as a point of light as much as possible. And you have to fill your mind with the knowledge points of Murli and turn it over and over again. Then sooner or later, you will be in a position to ask, why are people so lustful? You will reach that transformation from zero to hero. It is possible only when you hold the hand of God Shiva. Thanks for watching. Thank you, sister.
Om Shanti.
Om
Om Shanti.
Shanti.